Hello, my name is Shazad, and in this video I'll be taking a look at a good Linux distro, and that is Kubuntu 22.04. Now, Kubuntu 22.04 is a Linux distro which was made in April 2022. Released in April 2022, and it is a good Linux distro to consider. And it is much more easier for those who are transitioning away from Windows and then from Microsoft and moving towards a Linux-based operating system. But I'm just filming this video to see what is in this Linux distro which you can use. Now, if you have an older type of computer, if you have an old PC, then you have trouble upgrading to Windows 11 on your old PC, then you can use this Linux distro as it's not compatible with Windows 11 and it does not have a TPM chip on a chip, specific CPU, etc. And you find it too slow as well after you've upgraded the hardware. You find that it's supported device working very slowly, and that's the reason why you want to install this Linux distro on your PC or laptop or something like that. I'll assume this virtual machine. And my computer froze because it was trying to load a virtual machine. But that's okay. It occasionally happens in other YouTube videos like mine and others. Now in this window I'll be showing you the steps. Now this is Kubuntu 22.04. This is quite a nice, decent distro to look out for. You can try Kubuntu, or you can install Kubuntu. First you select the language here. And then you can either try Kubuntu or install Kubuntu. I'll go with it and try Kubuntu. And the next thing, I'll also show you the OS environment of this system, the virtual machine. And let's flip it up. And it's loading the Linux desktop. And you can see it's loading perfectly fine. As you can see, it's very good. This is the breeze logo. The KDE Plasma once had an oxygen theme and an air theme, now it has the breeze theme. Even by Kubuntu 17.2, it had the breeze theme, the oxygen theme. And I would show you the desktop environment of Kubuntu 22.04. I would my laser. And it should be able to load the Kubuntu desktop environment. There we go, it loaded. It loaded now Pokefine, as you can see here. The taskbar, everything else is working much finer as of late. But the timer is slightly different, but we'll just that. The context menu etc. works very fine as well. And you can see here everything is rather nice. It's a very nice filter. And you can see here we also have games on this. But in a lot of games on Windows 10 and Windows 11 or even Windows 7 does not work. But even with the latest version of Windows 7 does not work with Linux. Because Linux is having a poor market share for gaming. And that it also happens when you try to, trying to play games on Linux. And I'll test the Firefox web browser. And you can see here it also works with newer laptops and etc. New settings, etc. And new devices. And everything else is working fine as of late. You can adjust the microphone. No, I mean the speaker. And you can see here I'm adjusting the volume of my arrow down, and if I want to go up, I can adjust the volume. And everything else working fine, but with a bit of lag. But it should be able to work very fine here. I would be using a Firefox web browser. And everything else is working pretty much more fine as of late. And then we in the server screen, now we need to select that language. And then this setup is very nice, as you see here. It's quite smooth. Continue. And I'll choose my keyboard layout. Next, I'm going to continue. I would remember later after this install or quick normal installation install this third party software. Next, it's going to be pairing the Ubuntu drivers. Or you can download others while installing Kubuntu. This is optional. I would pause the speed until this is done. My MacBook. I'm using one switch MacBook because I lost my internet on my desktop computer because it's Ethernet only, and I would need to have it to install a Wi-Fi USB adapter, a USB Wi-Fi adapter in order to get internet on my HP computer. Next on this here, I'll click on try and install, try or install Kubuntu. I'll try Kubuntu, and everything is loading perfectly fine as it waits. Okay, I'll full screen this, and then I will guide you through the process of what is in the Kubuntu operating system. And you click on OK to allow your microphone if you want to allow your microphone. Next, it should be loading up the desktop. As you can see, the wallpaper with the cursor, everything goes working perfectly fine as it. And then the cursor is going to be into a cross line, just unusual wise part of it. Next, I should allow it to load. And you can see everything is working perfectly fine as it was. In order to get this bigger, I need to upgrade my desktop computer's RAM and my even my hard disk drive to an SSD. And if I do that, my computer will be much more faster, much more reliable. I always look at and opt for putting at least 16 or 8 GB RAM on the PC, but I'll pick 8 GB RAM because I feel like my PC is too small for 16 GB. It's too small, but I'm going to try to look at the spaces of my PC desktop case, then I'll add 16 GB RAM later on. Then I'll film the whole high performance video version of this video. But I'll not film again this video, but I'll film other videos including Linux Mint, Ubuntu, the standard Ubuntu, and I would also feature a new kind which is called Cal OS, which is built on the Neary desktop environment, which supports KDE Plasma. I'll try and then my desktop is still frozen. No, it's working perfectly fine as it wait. It should not take long to. There we go. Otherwise, it should take long to load up. Okay, it should. Oh, yeah, that's. I would need to find my cursor on my Kubuntu selection screen. But meanwhile, I'll pause this video until this is. Until this is done installing. No, I mean until this is done loading up the Kubuntu desktop. There we go, I've reached the desktop of Kubuntu. Now we will take a look at the Kubuntu environment. This is again slightly slow, but it's slightly improving the fast. My desktop computer's performance was fast as well, but my Mac's performance is even more fast than that. Unless I upgrade the RAM and the hard disk as well to SSD and RAM to 8 or 6 GB. I don't have space on my PC. Okay, so check. Now what I'm doing, now I will start to install Kubuntu. And you know, I've read a 6-minute language, which I will choose. Continue. So my keyboard layout. Continue. And I would install this third-party software. Continue. And it's going to be preparing the Ubuntu drivers. Next, it should not take long to choose the point of the machine. This is a job also guided using titles because recommended. If it's before orange and even over parts of the small big screen, it means that your or even lime green, that, but orange red lime means that your current operating system, for example, like Windows operating systems and of even Linux Mint, if you have one, or if you have a Mac operating system, then it should be allowing you to guide using titles because recommended option. For the best security needs, select guide using titles because it's equal to LVM, especially if you're doing it on a PC and you demand security. Install. We'll select the default user titles. I'll select the first option. Install. And then next I would continue with this. Next is time zone, depending on what in. I'm in London, I'll select this. And then next, continue on in. We'll type in my name and my and my password and my computer's name as well. We'll type in the default Kubuntu. I leave it as Kubuntu Virtualbox. I recommend that you leave it as default. If you're on Virtualbox or VMware, whichever you want. Where's my password? I'll log on automatically, that will fine. Push continue. And it's going to start to copy the files across the installation. And it's going to be getting the great desktop experience of our Kubuntu base. Copy the files and it should be done. and I would pause this for a bit, video before it's done. Next thing is going to be starting to start now. It will prompt us to start the virtual machine. I will start now. And wait until it's been fully restarted and completed. The reason why I'm seeing this, you are seeing this, and because I'm clicking the mouse on the on my home computer. Now I would, on my second computer, I would just start to reset the virtual machine. Now I should not reset the virtual machine. You need to inject the you need to press enter to confirm, and next you will need to boot into the desktop. Okay, I cannot see my file. I still can't see my file. Now I need to reset the PC. I'm in the virtual machine. Now I would need to eject the virtual machine. Now I need to power up the virtual machine first because I do not know what to do. Go settings, storage, and then it should be the Kubuntu. I know also selected. Only that once. It's going to be powering the virtual machine up. And next, I would need to let it boot into the Kubuntu desktop environment. Allow it to boot or boot up. Or I've now completed the installation of Kubuntu. Now I would, what I can do is that I can then now try to it's booting up the Kubuntu logo here. Wait until we can be seeing the desktop. But we have to wait till this is done. And it's going to be booting up the Breeze logo. Now this is the KDE Plasma, please. No, I'm in the Breeze. And what is done is that then I'm just going to 22.04 VM virtual machine running. What I can do is I can explore the start button. I'll click on the start menu, and we go. This is how it works. Now this is particularly useful for Windows users. This is much more familiar screen for Windows users. Even Linux Mint is the most famous Windows operating system alternative, and this can be available to all users, etc. as professional. Next, I will click on Dolphin. I will do the file manager, and it's the file manager of Dolphin. Then next, this is the
the folders, and those are the quick bits of the KDE Plasma desktop. I can right click and I can configure the themes. Now to configure the themes I need to to change a theme I need to go to this setting. I'll just type in themes. Okay. Yes, it should be okay, now I will click on the global team. And the next thing I would need to select whichever theme I like to apply. In my case, I would like to enter Breeze Dark. Now this is the dark mode. It looks now we can click on dark, and it looks very nice. It's very nice feel to it. The colors matching perfectly fine as if weird with this screen. If we go onto Breeze, if we want to go to fully light mode, the traditional one, then this look can be similar. Both those, not the start button and the start menu and the taskbar, etc. It's not light yet till we get specific configurations. If you want to go back to the Kubuntu theme, then I can go ahead and go back to it. And that is how to install Kubuntu 22.04 on VMware, but I used Virtualbox for this tutorial, the whole for this tutorial. But I used the Virtualbox for this video, this part of the video, but I used a VMware at the intro of the video. The reason why I switched from VMware to Virtualbox, but not on my PC, only my PC to my Mac, is that because I would plan to install a Wi-Fi dongle on my desktop computer, and my PC is only designed for Ethernet, and it's not used for Wi-Fi at the time of its first used by most people. Then that's why I switched to my Mac, and I'm now recording this bit, the whole process of the Mac, Kubuntu on the Mac. But anyways, when my Wi-Fi dongle will come to my office, then I'll plug it in and I'll install it, and then it'll be done. I can now continue filming my videos on my desktop PC, on my desktop computer, which is running Windows. And but that is still pretty much it. And I hope you liked this video, enjoyed this video, and please like and share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell button, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.